touchdown.
He's going deep. He's going over the touchdown. Let's go! Tagovailoa trying to pick up for it. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown! Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. 1, 2, 3, hit! Let's go! Welcome back, welcome back. What's good, Fin Nation? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one, as it seems the roller coaster has finally come to a halt. The bars have lifted up. We can remove our seatbelts and exit to the left of the ride. Vic Fangio, it looks like it is confirmed he will be joining the Dolphins staff after this Super Bowl, which actually coincides all along with what I've said, really, in the sense of, you know, I was told from the get-go nothing would be done until the Eagles season is dealt with. And look at, there you go, coincides exactly with that. Just like how I told all y'all, the timeline I understood it to be was an agreement was made last weekend after the original interview. When he had the interview, he asked for a few days to mull it over. Then they got into contact on the Sunday. They agreed to terms on the Sunday. And here we are. Everything is lining up. Guys, I will be live tonight. Well, not live, but on patreon.com/Phinside The NFL tonight, 3 Take Thursdays. And it will be 3 takes about the Vic Fangio stuff. I already had stuff lined up for it, and we'll continue with it. Listen, it's as low as $2 to join, and it's for Patreons only. And I'm going to drop some info in that video tonight that I would usually make a little post about, but I'll be dropping it. Man, I'm going to tell you all the play. I'm going to name the exact player I heard was going around telling people privately Fangio was coming here. You know, the date I was given just yesterday of when this could all be completed by. I'm going to talk about it all in 3 Takes Thursday tonight on patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. If you are a patron, be on the lookout for that. If you are not, go ahead, sign up, patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. As low as $2. I bring you weekly content, videos, as well as any information that comes my way, and you get a special discount code to the PhinsideTheNFL.com store. So go check it out, patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. Now, Vic Fangio. Everyone can relax. Everyone can rest. He's coming here. I mean, listen. I went publicly on record and said, if this falls apart, you know, y'all knew who I was going to blame, okay? Y'all knew who I was coming for. But, you know, we were all pretty consistent on the panel on Tuesday night. All of us pretty much believed this was going to get done. There was no one really up there at all thinking that this isn't going to get done, you know, and I kept going back, and I kept going back and forth with, you know, I talked to a few people after that show, and it was just what is this, like a Miami versus everybody type thing? You know, it was everyone I would talk to, whether you worked for a paper, whether you were connected with to the building, whether you were in the building, whether you were an insider on the internet, anyone I talked to or saw publicly from the South Florida media or from South Floridian plugs, let's call them, everyone was locked in. It's done. It's confirmed. It's happening. And that's why when you see 3 Takes Thursday tonight on patreon.com and I name the player specific, you're gonna start to see why I was pretty sure of it, because I was getting to the point of, listen, if I know specific players are walking around telling people that this is a done deal, privately, not just on Instagram, but privately, management must have been confident. This is why I never really wavered, but I said, hey, if they get it wrong, this is what I'm blaming, because, hey, you got to cover your P's and Q's. But I never wavered because of all these factors. Everyone I spoke to, all my plugs, it's happening. He's coming. It's agreed upon. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Answers I just kept getting and getting and getting. And the only stuff I would hear is from out of Denver, Josina Anderson. Those are literally the only contrary stuff I would hear to everything I was hearing publicly and privately out of South Florida. And, management must have been real confident in it if they were going around and confirming to players privately, yeah, this is done, to the point where players are going around and telling people it's done. So that's why I told all of y'all it would be Josh McDaniels to the Colts levels of snub here if we didn't get it. I wasn't just saying that off of emotion, right? Because plugs were saying it, players were saying it, management was clearly confident enough. I had deciphered that it was the agent who leaked all that stuff to Tom Pelissero, who's the same agent as McDaniel. And do you really think he's going to screw over McDaniel in the process? Didn't see that as a possibility. There was just way too many strong indicators that this was going to get done, and everyone just needed to relax and hold tight. But again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I get it. I get everyone's anxiety. I get everyone's frustration because we're always left at the altar. We never get the bell of the ball when it comes to this kind of stuff. I get it. But by God, I said it last year when we hired Mike McDaniel. Hell, I'll do the macho man and take off the glasses and look you right in the eye. I told you things were going to be different under Mike McDaniel. I told you it felt different. I told you things were going to change. Started with a playoff berth, and now look. Now look. I mean, you pile all the head coaches and coordinators in this cycle together, we got the best one. We got the best one at his position. All of these head coaches are unproven. We got the best one at his position or for his position. And like I said, pull the macho again. Cream always rises to the top, yeah. And that's where we're going, baby. Because I'm going to say this. Tua stays healthy. Fangio. Oh, baby, oh, baby. I'm going to tell you this right now. We got the makeup of an AFC championship team. No one can tell me different right now. And we haven't even fixed the second level. We haven't even tweaked the secondary yet to Fangio's liking. I'm going to tell you this right now. I can feel it in my giblies. I'm all excited about Jalen Phillips. I cannot believe and I cannot wait to what Jalen Phillips... It's going to make me look like a genius. That's fine. Because I said last offseason, in 2 years, he would enter the top 5. He would enter the discussion with the Boses and stuff. And I said this year, he would enter the top 10, and I believe he made that leap. He's right around there. And under Vic Fangio, because I'll tell you one thing. I said it before, I'll say it again. Boyer is so philosophically different than what McDaniel and Fangio is that I truly don't believe he knew how to utilize those guys to the best of their ability, to the best of their potential. Do I think it was a coincidence that Ogba was struggling out of the gate with Flores no longer around? No, I don't, because I don't think it was, like I've said before, I don't think it was a coincidence how poorly we were situationally and how bad the play calling was at times defensively without Flores as well. People have always, even though everyone knows how I feel about Flores, I've always given him his props when it comes to the defense. And I still will always give his props to his defense. That guy's a defensive genius compared to Josh Boyer. You can feel what you want to feel about the guy, but that's true. I will tell you this right now. If McDaniel had Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator this past season, who knows how far we could have gone. Even with the 2 injuries. Just saying. Just saying. So let's get into everything. So we got a lot to go over. I was already planning to go live tonight. By the way, I hope everyone's enjoying their lunch break. It's about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Midday matinee here on Phinside The NFL. I already had a bunch of stuff lined up. I was going to be going live tonight. This works out perfectly. We're going to do it for your midday. Give you something to eat your sandwich to, or heat your soup up to and watch. you know, again, I'm going to stress, go check out patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. 3 Takes Thursday tonight. It's going to be my best one yet, episode 3. So, funny how that lines up. Episode 3 of 3 Takes Thursday. So, go check that out. All of you patrons, I'm telling all of y'all, reminding all of y'all, you already are locked in. So, be sure to check it out tonight. It's going to be a very interesting video. You guys are going to enjoy it. You guys are going to like it. And I'm going to talk about the whole Fangio thing a little bit more, too, in that video specifically. But, for me, this is, it just goes back to last year. I just, there's a lot of parallels to last season. This is paralleling the Darrell Bevell signing for me, right? Where I told everyone Darrell Bevell was one of the best signings of any coaching position last offseason. And look what he and McDaniel did with Tua. I rest my case. I will put Vic Fangio on the same level as that. Maybe even higher. I'm telling you right now. 3 years and a 4th-year option. This man could be locked in here till he's 68. You know what that tells me? He ain't looking for a head coaching job. Gonna come down here to the sunny South Beach, Del Boca Vista, and just lock in. Does Bevell get promoted to OC? If Frank Smith gets a job somewhere else, yes. 110%. And that might have been a conversation this offseason too. They believe that this offense is going to take yet another leap. Frank Smith will get a job offer. And because think about it, all the remaining candidates from the cycle McDaniel was hired in, right? The DeMeco Ryans, everyone's basically gone except Jonathan Gannon and Raheem Morris right now. Right? Oh, well, are we going to... I'm talking about the new guys. So, like, Flores and, like, Vance Joseph wouldn't count because they're not technically... They've already been head coaches, right? I'm talking about, like, the new blood. You know what I mean? There's always a handful of names of new hot candidates, and maybe they're thinking Frank Smith is going to be one of those names next year, and then Darrell Bevell will step up underneath because I'll be honest with you right now, and this is going to sound cold-blooded, but if Darrell came to me and said, listen, I want to become the offensive coordinator of this team, I'd say, yes, sir. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would not even hesitate. I'd say, Frank, here's the deal, bud. Listen, I'm going to give y'all co-coordinator by title, but Darrell runs the show. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the best offer I can give you. If not, sorry, kid. There's the door. There's the Uber waiting outside. That's how important Darrell Bevell is to me. Everyone knows how I feel about him. Just like how I feel about Pep Hamilton. It's the same way I felt about Mike McDaniel 2 years ago when I wanted him or Pep Hamilton as the OC. I believe Pep Hamilton and Darrell Bevell are two of the few remaining quarterback whisperers in the NFL. I really do believe that. Now, I'm not saying they're the only ones, but I think they're two of the few remaining, right? And so, yeah, everyone knows I think very highly of Kafka too, in that sense. So, and Dorsey. I think they can work with quarterbacks very well. So that's just where that's you know, this is a massive move. And that's what bugged me about Barry Jackson. And everyone knows I love Barry Jackson. But what frustrated me about Barry Jackson this week is, listen, that's why I didn't harp on all y'all. That's why you didn't see me coming out here and be like, oh, you guys need to effing relax. You guys need to calm down. Blah, 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 blah. You didn't hear me pop off like that. Because I kept telling all y'all, listen, I think I'm pretty sure he's coming here. Everyone I'm talking to is telling me he's coming. Just hold tight, he's coming. So I'm pretty locked in. But at the same time, I kept telling all y'all, I understood your anxiety. I understood your frustration because we're Dolphin fans. We've been down this path plenty of times before, and it never worked out favorably. Well, guess what? Nothing lasts forever. It's changing, baby. It's changing. And now, two names I've heard that I see people are trying to leak out there now. Well, Sean Desai and Donatrell, I was the first person on them being part of his staff. And before people were taking to Ed Donatrell and talking about Twitter and all that stuff, I was the first person to report it on my Patreon. that I was hearing Ed Donatrell coming over here, and now I see multiple people have been saying it since then. You're welcome. And so, Sean Desai, Ed Donatrell, I do think this is going to happen. Ed Donatrell got fired from the Vikings. Sean Desai does not look like he's going to get a promotion. So I do see him coming. So I think this staff is about to get shook up. I think it's about to be an exciting time as we see the names get added to this staff. And people like Barry Jackson are going to see why all of you guys, because you know what? I take credit. Not just me, but multiple other people. But I am one of the people that take credit for hyping this fan base up about Vic Fangio. Because I've been doing it since last offseason. I've been consistent in my reporting since last offseason that this was the guy McDaniel wanted and could have had, but Greer and Garfinkel stuck him with Boyer and Crossman. I've been consistent across the board. No one's been more locked into the Fangio situation than Reason, period. So, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is unbelievable stuff. That this staff we're going to put together, what people don't realize, guys, is we just hired the older defensive version of Mike McDaniel. He's going to surround himself with a bunch of smart minds that he's not afraid to listen to, that he's humble enough to understand that they mean what's best for the team. So it's very exciting stuff. Barry's about to see why all of you guys were hyped up and why you guys were always asking and asking and asking, because everyone's going to realize how important he is when this season plays out. I'm going to tell you that right now. Reese, what do you think about Keaton Mitchell? For all of you who don't know, Keaton Mitchell, running back at ECU. I just completed my big board. As you guys know, I do my 1 through 10 with honorable mentions. Keaton Mitchell's actually number 10 on my big board. I'm a fan. As anyone who's known what I've said about this running back class, I like, let me do here. I like all 15. I like my top 10 and my 5 honorable mentions, just in varying positions throughout the draft. That's just it. Oh, Rome, don't you worry. Tank Bigsby out here. But I'm going to tell y'all, my crush in that running back class is Devin Achane out of Texas A&M. Right? Just like everyone knows, me and Neil have been talking about Darnell Wright. I see people on Dolphins Twitter talking about Darnell Wright all of a sudden. We've been talking about Darnell Wright and Zach Charbonnet for over a year on Fin Too Deep if people have been listening. So, yeah, there's a lot of good running backs in this class, man. I love this class. A-Chain, give me 4.2 speed out of the backfield. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You know what's crazy, Rome? No one really talked about it, but look at how good Gainwell was, and everyone knows how badly I wanted him and where I wanted him, and look at how good he's been for the Eagles. But look at how good Tyler Algier was for and everyone knows him and Rashad White were two of my man crushes, and they were both very good for their respective teams in their first year. Algier looks like he's going to be the real deal. Rashad White looks like he's going to be the real deal when Leonard Fournette leaves. I was actually looking at my rankings yesterday because I was just getting prepared for just my graphic guy, and I was looking at my rankings for my running back class, and damn, I was pretty freaking on point. The only guy I really didn't get was Isaiah Spiller, and that's because Eckler popped off. But if everyone remembers, I went Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Spiller, Tyler Algier, Rashad White. Those are my top 5. And 4 of those 5 guys look like legitimate starters already. And the 5th guy in that group, Isaiah Spiller, just hasn't got a chance yet. So, and I like the running back class last year, and I like the running back class this year too. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's get into the information. Let's dive into this because we got a lot. And what I'm going to start you off from is last night, actually. Because yeah, here's what went down for me. So this article dropped at about like 12 o'clock yesterday, and this was coming out of the Senior Bowl, and rumblings were starting yesterday. And it's what's the latest on Vic Fangio and the Miami Dolphins. Vic Fangio was reportedly the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator until he wasn't. Over the weekend, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that Fangio and the Dolphins had agreed to a deal to make him the highest paid coordinator in the NFL. However, reports soon came out that Fangio told reporters, including Michael Silver of the San Francisco Chronicle, that he had not made a decision. Will Vic Fangio sign with the Dolphins? Sources in Mobile were telling Pro Football Network insider Tony Pauline that they are confident Fangio will become the new defensive coordinator for the Dolphins sooner rather than later. San Francisco is an option, but everything being talked about at the Senior Bowl points to Fangio signing with the Dolphins soon. Further, sources told PFN that the Dolphins offer appears to be Fangio's best one thus far. If everything comes together as expected, Pelissero reports that it's expected to be a 3-year agreement with a 4th-year team option. If the Dolphins land Fangio, it would bolster a defense in need of some help, and their defensive coordinator would be able to do so quickly. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this is to tell you all this. So I was napping yesterday. I woke up to a text message from Neil. Neil actually texted me before that article dropped, and he had talked, because Neil used to work for Pro Football Network, and I guess he had talked to Tony Pauline that morning, yesterday morning, and yeah, he same thing. Got told the same thing directly from Tony Pauline, not in an article, that he was hearing it all throughout Mobile, Alabama, that this was going down, that it was done. It was going to be happening. I mean, and yeah, so definitely, the wheels were in motion, right? So then last night, Joe Shad came out and he said many people have tweeted at me and emailed to ask about Vic Fangio. As of tonight, here at the Senior Bowl, I can tell you he is expected to become the next Dolphins defensive coordinator. Different result would be a surprise to league sources here, right? And this is the same reason why I was telling all of y'all this would be Josh McDaniel's level of snub. Everyone in that building was under the impression the agreement's in place. That's why we were not even entertaining interviewing anyone else. That's why there were no second interviews, nothing like that. So it was starting to pick up in Mobile, Alabama yesterday that, okay, this is actually happening. Like, let's stop the nonsense. This is for real. This is actually going down. All right? So about an hour and 40 minutes ago, Adam Schefter tweeted out this. After speaking with multiple teams about the defensive coordinator position, Vic Fangio has decided to join the Dolphins as their defensive coordinator and officially will accept the position on the Miami staff after the Super Bowl. Again, since I started reporting on this offseason, I've told all y'all, I had been told nothing would be official until after. That's why you never heard Reason say, okay, it's going to happen on this day, it's going to happen on that day, because I had stayed consistent and been told that nothing would happen until after the Super Bowl, after the Eagles run. That's why, when Tom Pelissero reported that if the Eagles would have got knocked out, that would have been a wrap. He would already be in Miami. So, patience is a virtue, baby. It worked out. He is now going to be taking on the role, and we are going to see everything start to come together. I mean, I want everyone to realize here, we're 10 days away from the Super Bowl, which I'll be live for, and we'll do an open show for that. I'll open it up so all of y'all can come out. We can watch the Super Bowl together, all that kind of jazz. But, I mean, in 2 weeks, we're going to see the staff starting to get put together. Hey, we might hear leaks starting to come out next week. Information might start trickling about, guys, I'm telling y'all, there was more to that Sean Desai. I've heard from the beginning, and I'll tell you again, there's more to that Sean Desai interview than, okay, be the next DC. It was, would you be interested in taking a position under Vic if he comes here? So, I fully expect at least one of, if not, I expect both, but at least one of Sean Desai and Ed Donatral will be here, like I've reported for multiple weeks now. So, that's, and I don't know People are going to automatically ask me, Reason, what does that mean for Sam Madison? I don't know yet. I think Sam Madison will be kept on staff because he was a McDaniel pick. That was a McDaniel guy, not a Boyer guy. So I think Sam Madison will stay on staff. And be excited. Be excited for watch. All of you, I know there's defensive minds in there, like, ball games in the chat right now, but all you defensive minds, you should be excited right now. I'm an offensive guy, and even I'm sitting over here during the Birdman of like, oh my God, what's this defense going to look like? And you know why? I cannot wait to see our offense go up against this defense in training camp. Ooh, those are going to be some good battles, man. Those are going to be some good battles because this defense is going to be shored up. And another thing I'm going to talk about on 3 Takes Thursday on patreon.com/Phinside The NFL tonight. Not only will I talk about the defensive player I heard running around telling people it's done. Not only am I going to tell you the timeline I was hearing in terms of when this could be officially announced by, but also, man, that's going to be a jam. I don't even want to. I might save that one. It's going to be a jam-packed. It's going to be a jam-packed 3 Takes Thursday tonight, man. It's going to be jam-packed 3 Takes Thursday. We'll save that one for all of y'all that we'll save that one for all of y'all that actually show up tonight and watch the show. Right? That'll be your surprise. That'll be your surprise. All right. Jeff Darlington then commented after this was made official. And Jeff Darlington said this. He said Mike McDaniel was willing to bring Fangio to Miami last year when he first arrived, but he also understood the team's desires to keep Boyer after solid 2021 defense. I've never since McDaniel viewed Boyer as a lame duck, but when it didn't work out, this became a clear path. Again, confirming what I've told you. I actually had people try to argue me this on Twitter this past week that, he didn't get stuck. Garfinkel doesn't have any say. Okay. All right. Let me tell you all this, okay? Greer and Garfinkel are like this, okay? Garfinkel has Stephen Ross's ear. Why? Because of all the stuff he's done with the F1. All that stuff he's done with the actual Hard Rock property has built and earned cachet with the man upstairs in Miami, Stephen Ross. All right? So Greer's safe as long as Garfinkel's there unless it really goes bad. And yeah, I'm going to tell you all again. I'm going to tell you this again. From a coaching side, do you remember the reports about Flores not talking to anyone and him and Gerald Alexander going off and doing their own thing and taking over the game planning? Why was that? Because Danny Crossman and Josh Boyer basically started an in-house revolt against Brian Flores. Okay? They're the ones that started getting in Garfinkel and Greer's ear. This guy's got to go. This guy's got to go. So, yeah. All right? These were holdovers. McDaniel played ball. McDaniel ain't playing ball anymore. He earned the cachet by going to the playoffs. Now it's his team. Now it's time for him to really start putting his fingerprints all over this team. And it's going to start with bringing in the mind he wants, because people got to understand. He's doing what Flores never did. Flores tried to force himself onto the offensive side of the ball when he shouldn't have never done that. He should have got someone who could have taken care of the offensive side of the ball, and he could have just focused on getting that defense as right as rain. And then, problem solved, playoff team, wipe your hands of it. Nope, he had to meddle where he was out of his depth. And now, and he's out of here. What does Mike McDaniel do? Listen, he tells all of y'all he loves edge players. He tells all y'all he drafted a defensive lineman in the first round every year. But at the end of the day, what's he telling all y'all without telling all of y'all? Man, the offense is my side of the ball. I want to bring in a guy that can take care of the defense, and I don't got to oversee. I don't got to deal with that. And it's exactly what McVay did with Wade Phillips, and it made McVay a way better head coach. People do not realize this. This is why, Mr. Barry Jackson, we all wanted Vic Fangio so bad? We've seen the impact that Wade Phillips had on a Sean McVay in this tree. We want our coach to follow that same path. Because if we get the next Sean McVay, holy good God Jesus. And I think McDaniel's got even more potential than McVay. So, yeah, that's why this was such a big deal for us to get this. Because the trickle effect, the long-lasting impact. McVay's come out and said Wade Phillips made him a better coach in the NFL. Vic Fangio will make Mike McDaniel a better head coach in the NFL. Period. And if that doesn't have you excited after a 9-8 season, after 9-8 season in the playoffs, where we should have won that Buffalo game with a third-string quarterback, I don't know what won't. Because you know what? That tells me with Fangio, we're going to reach those 12, 13, 14 win ceilings. If you want my opinion, we are on the verge of having the most complete staff, which is probably going to put together one of the most complete rosters and teams from personnel on the field to personnel on the sideline we've seen in quite some time in Miami. And that's a scary thought after what we saw the potential of the team was already this year. Now it's going to get even better. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. All right, for all of y'all wondering, what did Josina Anderson have to say? What was everything going on there? Josina Anderson said this: given that slower timeline that from the aforementioned competition in San Francisco, and all she said in the previous tweet was San Francisco wanted to take their time with the defensive coordinator search. They wanted to meet with everyone, blah, 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 blah. It made sense for Vic Fangio to circle back to the deep interest he had from the Dolphins from the beginning as reported and decide to join the Dolphins now per Adam Schefter. So Josina Anderson taking that L. And then Josina Anderson said, my understanding is that Vic Fangio, look at the, shout out to John Christolakis. You kill me, bro. My understanding is that Vic Fangio at times was feeling a bit rushed in his process, giving certain connections and made some adjustments along the way. As a result, that contributed to the lengthier timeline of his decision too, per league source, but all is well that ends well, man. Josina, you got to talk to that league source. Griffin Gaming says, how much did he miss? My friend, you missed a ton. You got to go back. You got to go back, baby. You got to go back. Griffin Gaming, shout out to Griffin Gaming. He says, how much did I miss? Brother, Fangio, it's rejoice. Rejoice. Okay? Say your prayers, your 3 prayers, your hallelujahs, whatever you got to say. Rejoice. Watch Guru says the donation feature doesn't work, reason. It should. Griffin just donated. He says, how much did I miss? You can also donate PayPal.me. What is it? It should be coming up at the bottom here. PayPal.me/Phinside. You can donate through PayPal if you want, and I'll still read your donation. But it does. Griffin's out here wondering how much did I miss. Griffin, wake up, kid. Wake up, kid. Thomas Burt, reason, what's going on with special teams? That's something I'm going to talk tonight in my 3 takes video, but I think the Fangio hire had something to do with it. I think it's another thing where they're going to bring him in here. They're going to bring in his guys, and they're going to... What's your Rolodex looking like? That's what I think that is. That's what I think that is, man. All right, so continuing on here, this is what David Ferrona said. David Ferrona has dropped an article on it friend of the show. He'll be coming on soon. What do I think about the tight end situation? Well, let me just tell you all this. I'll put up my first mock draft of the season at the end here, and you can see what I think of the tight end situation. Vic Fangio to officially accept Dolphins defensive coordinator job after the Super Bowl. We can put the rest to the worry about whether the Dolphins will get Fangio to sign as their defensive coordinator. We think Fangio, who has spent this NFL season as defensive consultant with the Philadelphia Eagles, will officially accept the role with the Dolphins after the Super Bowl, according to an ESPN report on Thursday. Fangio and the Eagles are participating in the Super Bowl on February 12th against the Kansas City Chiefs. And shout out to Michael with the donation. Michael donated $4.99. I appreciate you, Michael. Thank you very much, good sir. So anyways, continuing on here. After news broke Sunday that the experienced, coveted defensive coordinator was joining the Dolphins, first reported by the NFL Network and then confirmed by the Sun Sentinel and others, various reports said it wasn't a done deal. Direct conversations with Fangio were cited with him saying he hadn't made a final decision in the days since San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator job became open, with DeMeco Ryans accepting the Houston Texans job. And Sean Payton, whom Fangio was linked to, did reach an agreement with the Denver Broncos. I mean, we all know what time it is, right? With the Denver Broncos there. Fangio, 64, a top defensive coordinator candidate. This coaching hire was reportedly in the mix. So, again, reportedly, we didn't even hear of him having a freaking, we literally didn't even hear reports of him actually having the interviews. Like, that's what's crazy about this, right? We didn't even actually, get the reports of the interview. We got reports, well, they're interested, they want to interview, but it doesn't seem like he actually ever even went through with the interviews. After speaking with multiple teams about their defensive coordinator position, Vic Fangio has decided to join the Dolphins staff as their defensive coordinator and will officially accept the position on the Miami staff after the Super Bowl. That's what Schefter reported and we talked about earlier. The deal the Dolphins have in place with Fangio is set to make him the highest. And I'll talk about the money that I'm hearing tonight too. I'll tell you the terms I've heard. The deal with the Dolphins have in place with Fangio is set to make him the NFL's highest paid defensive coordinator. I've heard it's between $4 to $4.5 million a year. According to the original NFL Network report, which was said it was a 3-year contract with a team option for a fourth. Fangio was a coveted option to lead Miami's defense for coach Mike McDaniel. Love it, baby. Love it. Last season, but Josh Boyer was retained, for the 2022 season and then fired. Thank God. Huh? Fangio beat out a list of candidates that also included Seattle Seahawks associate head coach, defensive assistant Sean Desai, New Orleans co-defensive coordinator and secondary coach Chris Richard, who's also been relieved of his duties, which is interesting. What if they bring over Chris Richard as well? And the Dolphins' own internal candidate, Anthony Campanelli. The 4 candidates interviewed between Wednesday and Friday of last week. So before joining the Eagles this season, Fangio was head coach of the Broncos from 2019 to 2021. Shout out to the donations coming through. Griffin Gaming says, I knew when San Fran started interviewing other people in Denver wanted Peyton to keep their current DC that he was coming here. Glad it's official. So am I, Griffin. Yeah, there's discussions about Evero, right? Like, there's legitimate discussions about Evero being the guy. So, I mean, I don't know. And shout out to Gotti for the $4.99 donation. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. All right. So, finishing up here. Fangio has a lengthy resume as an NFL defensive coordinator with the Bears when he was named NFL Assistant Coach of the Year in his final season. 49ers from 2011 to 2014. Remember, he went a Super Bowl run there. Houston Texans for the first 4 seasons in the franchise history. Indianapolis Colts from 99 to 2001, and Carolina Panthers in the inaugural season in 95 through to 98. Before reaching the coordinator ranks, he was a long-time New Orleans Saints coach from 1986 through to 1994. He also had stints as a defensive assistant for the tough Baltimore defenses from 2006 to 2009 before becoming the Stanford University defensive coordinator in 2010 and following Jim Harbaugh to the 49ers. So, baby, let's go. Vic Fangio. Whew. Enjoy the Super Bowl, baby. We're going to be watching the Super Bowl with an extra big smile on our face this year, aren't we? Aren't we? It's going to be extra special for people like us, isn't it? I mean, this is, beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, man, I'm actually excited to do that 3 Takes Thursday tonight now that this is wrapped up and that this is done. It's just like, thank God, man. I know everyone's been stressing out and, listen, I love what I do. I love doing this, but, it can get a lot when people are constantly, on you about, why isn't this happening yet? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? And I get it, man, because, listen, I'm not complaining. I appreciate the position I'm in. But, man, it can be a lot, man. It can definitely become a lot and stressful because you just want an answer so people stop stressing. You know what I mean? And people stop bugging out and people stop wilding out. You just want an answer for that purpose. So, and I don't know, man. I'm just happy it's over. And I know it's not over because he's not officially here yet, but it's pretty much a wrap. So we pretty much have confirmation of when it's going down. So, all right. And other news, Tua Tagovailoa, as of yesterday, has cleared the NFL's concussion protocol. And why does this matter? Because remember, we played the video just a couple days ago of the athletic reporter. Remember, he was speculating. Do you remember that, guys? He was speculating that it was done, right? He was speculating that he had been cleared and that he just didn't, the Dolphins just did not want him playing in the Pro Bowl. And this is rumblings we had heard since last week. And lo and behold, sure enough, that appears to be exactly what the deal was. They just did not want him, in a position where, anything could go wrong. They're focused on next year. Listen, no one cares about the Underwear Olympics except some people out here for some reason. I don't understand why. By the way, 500 of you in the room, smash that like button, subscribe if you are new. I don't know why people care so much about the Underwear Olympics. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. Everyone just needs to relax on that. It's a little much that people were. It's like people were more worried about whether he could play in the Pro Bowl than him being ready to go for next year. It's like, I went off a little bit. Like, people need to get their priorities straight. Like, Jesus, Lord Almighty. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. And here's what was said on NFL Network regarding it.
So, because you mentioned Tua, let me ask you one quick follow. Any sense of when he's clear and out of the protocol?
Oh, that's oh, my bad. That's the wrong one. Let me Let me get the right one in there. Hold on. All right, there you go. Right one. Here you go. Try that again. Take two.
Tagovailoa over the course of the last couple of days has been meeting with professionals and medical experts to ascertain where he is in the NFL's concussion protocol. And after missing the end of the season with a concussion, he has now officially been cleared, according to a source. There's full confidence based on the information that these medical professionals provided to Tua Tagovailoa and the team that it'll be 100% when it is time to play football again. So we'll now go into the offseason fully healthy and ready to go, which obviously is an extremely good sign for Tua.
So, yeah, I mean, all these people who are like, oh, he's one hit away, all that, like, you guys don't even know what you're talking about. You literally don't even know what you're talking about. His brain baseline is going to be back to normal. People don't realize, Barry's talking about, all these people I've talked about, these neuroscientists, if he gets a concussion next year, he's back to square one in terms of you start like it's your first concussion. They're not treating it like it's his third or fourth in 365 days. That's not how it gets treated. His baseline is going to get back to normal, what it was before the first concussion he suffered this year. And so his susceptibility to concussions will be the same as everyone else. Someone who's had concussion before and someone who hasn't had a concussion before. It's going to be one of those gray areas with the brain, but he's not any more susceptible to concussions than anyone else. And his baseline is going to return to normal, and it will not be one hit and he's away. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So people just need to do a little research and a little studying instead of being lazy and listening to uninformed, uneducated opinions and running with them as gospel. Please do us a favor. The All-Pros were announced. And this is what it looks like. So when you look at the All-Pros, the players All-Pros, you see Tyreek Hill made the wide receiver. Somehow Lamar Jackson made the quarterbacks list. I don't know how that is. But Tyreek Hill, he finished number 4. Figure that one out as well. Number 2 at worst. He finished number 4. Remember I wanted Tony Pollard and a first-round pick for Xavier Howard. When it was rumored they were coming for him, and people said, "Oh, who's Tony Pollard? You're crazy, Reason." And now look at that. Alec Ingold, he is an All-Pro, number 3. He's a number 3 fullback behind Patrick Ricard and Kyle Juszczyk. Beyond that, look at this. Teron Armstead. Right there. He finishes tied for 4th with Jordan Mailata from the Philadelphia Eagles. So that was absolutely huge. No Connor Williams, as much as they tried to convince you he was an All-Pro center this year. Guess what? He might have been an All-Pro after the snap, but before the snap, he wasn't. So he didn't make the top 5. Not really overly shocked, to be honest with you there. On defense, for us, I'm kind of shocked that Jalen Phillips didn't get any love. And what's crazy is Christian Wilkins got no love either. How is Christian Wilkins not on this list? Absolute shame. Absolute shame. Are you kidding me that this guy did not make the interior defensive line? Unreal. Unreal to me. Javon Holland, though, made the top 5 free safeties. He finished number 5 behind Minkah Fitzpatrick, Kevin Byard, Quandre Diggs, Jesse Bates. Javon Holland right there. So, yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you this. We're going to talk about that tonight with the Fangio defense. Jordan Poyer's there on the strong safety list. And we're going to talk about that whole Bills thing going on tonight on my 3 Takes Thursday. So be on the lookout for that, because I do expect one Bill in particular to be coming here this offseason. I think it's a real possibility here. So there you go with the All-Pros. And then, guys, I know I said earlier I would show you, just to show you guys what happened. So I did my first mock draft of the season, in case you guys haven't seen it. And, well, no one's seen it, really. I did this January 25th. So this mock draft is, and I haven't done one since. So this was my first of the season. And this is how I had it going. Now, you're going to wonder, where did I get that extra pick from? What happened with me was, now I don't see Michael Mayer dropping to us, but oh boy. The Jaguars offered me for pick 88. Sorry, for pick 84, they offered me pick 88 and 157, so I got an extra one. But gentlemen and ladies, Michael Mayer, Owen Papo, Tyler Steen, right tackle solved, Chase Brown, running back solved, DJ Turner, corner depth, Zion Nelson at 217 for another body on the offensive line. But I'm pretty sure Zion didn't declare. I don't know if Zion declared, but, you know, no chance Mayer falls out of the top 25, I believe. And the fact that he fell to me at 51, obviously I'd ran that all up. But someone asked me, what do I think about a tight end situation? That's what I think about the tight end situation. If Michael Mayer was there at 51, I'd run the damn ballot up there. So, yeah. That's decent for me, man. Decent for me, because I think we're going to sign a big-time middle linebacker in free agency. And I think we're going to get another safety in free agency. So I'm just adding to it here, baby. Adding to it. And you know what? In this scenario, I did not have us adding a starting right tackle. I would be kicking Tyler Steen to that starting right tackle position. So someone asked, hey, what was your... No, that was just for fun. I didn't take that seriously at all. I'm like, hey, I don't start taking my mocks seriously until after free agency. After free agency is when you'll actually see me talk about my mocks and take it seriously. But someone asked what I thought about the tight end position. That's what I think about the tight end position. If there is a guy there, run up and take him. That's where I'm at. Bro, Rome, Witherspoon ain't going to be there, brother. That man is climbing, bro. Listen, I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be there, man. He's climbing, brother. That man is climbing. He's talking about Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois, the corner out of Illinois. Devin Witherspoon, man, I don't think he's going to be there at 51. I really don't. I don't think Noah Sewell will be there. No. I don't. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this draft plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, Fangio, after the Super Bowl, confirmed. Patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. Tonight, we'll be talking about Fangio on my 3 Takes Thursday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a player that was going around and telling everyone, and this is one of the reasons why I knew it was confirmed, potentially, right? I'm going to talk about an option out of Buffalo, I'm hearing. And, yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and it's all in relation to Fangio tonight. Patreon.com/Phinside The NFL, episode 3 of 3 Takes Thursday. Remember, it's only $2 to sign up. Go check it out. Get all the insider information. You get a promo code to use at the Phinside The NFL store for merch. So go check it out, guys. Listen, I appreciate all of you for spending some of your afternoon with me. Hit y'all with that midday matinee. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. Hopefully all of you can rest and relax and, take it easy a little bit. Me and Neil are probably going to be live within the next 2 days to do an episode of Fin Too Deep. If not, I'll be live by myself. So expect me either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll be back for you, and if anything breaks, you already know what time it is. I will be back. And guys, rest easy. Rest easy. Let's go, man. Let's go. It's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to see this defensive staff get assembled, and I can't wait to see the pieces get put in place as this defense gets tweaked, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Well, we'll talk about that tonight on my Three Takes Thursday, man. We'll talk about some of the stuff I heard going on in the McDaniel Fangio negotiations about personnel and stuff in that video as well. So, man, we got a lot to cover in that video. That's going to be out tonight on patreon.com/Phinside The NFL. I'll see all of y'all there. For everyone else, I will see y'all next time right here on Phinside The NFL. Love each and every one of you. Fins all the way up, baby. We starting this offseason on the right foot. Let's keep it going. We're heading in the right direction, baby. And then that direction leads directly to a Lombardi trophy. Let's get it. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. Fins up. And I will see all of y'all on the next one. Take it easy, everyone.